The Pepsi ICC World Cricket League may be the focus for most developing countries, offering the chance to compete in global tournaments against opponents from far and wide, with the World Cup the ultimate dream. But it's important that teams can make the step up in class when they come face to face with established full member countries. The top 6 from the World Cup qualifying event receive the support and funding required.
We have our high performance program, which is focusing on the top 6 associates of the world to try and help them to close the gap to the full members. And again, we have a high performance manager that works very closely with the members to develop high performance pathways and high performance programs and plans that enable their players to reach their peak.
There's no question that the gap is getting smaller. There have been notable scalps and a greater consistency in the performances of the associates on the biggest stage.
Gone are the days of turning our nose up at associate nations and concentrating on the test playing nations. I think that the ICC have done it, fantastic work and keeping their focus on the emerging associate nations.
There have been fine individual and team performances from associates at the World Cup, with the promise of more to come. At the last event in the Caribbean, there were some dramatic moments, which put the likes of Bermuda and the unforgettable Dwayne Leverock on back pages across the world.
You having the other countries that are trying to get to the top associates, and it's going to be very hard because the cricket programs that they have, ICC is funding the programs, and they're going to try to get even stronger and stronger. So we have to be on our P's and Q's and have to try to get even stronger to maintain our level.
By qualifying for the Super 8s at the last World Cup, and in doing so beating the likes of Pakistan and Bangladesh and tying with Zimbabwe, Ireland have shown what can be achieved.
Now we have a proper high performance plan backed by both North and South sports councils. We just in the middle of trying to get a director of cricket, because there's a lot more going on, and there's a lot more being pushed in the cricket all over. And I think one of the things is development part, and that's been allocated a huge part of the budget in that we want the cricket to continue, and in order for it to continue you have to go to the grassroots and get more and more people playing from a young age. So no, it's progressed a lot.
Investment in junior cricket is essential for the long-term growth of the game, and it's an area the ICC have targeted across their 5 regional offices.
Initially the thrust has come from in a lot of cases, the immigrant communities in some countries, but what ICC Europe have been very good at is making sure that momentum is taken into schools so that it becomes an indigenous sport rather than just a sport played by immigrants, and that over the last 10 years that change has been massive.
International under-15 and under-17 tournaments take place on a regular basis, with off-field structures and facilities improving all the time. It's at under-19 level where associates and affiliates get the chance to mix with the big boys at the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup. The 16-team event includes the 10 full member countries, along with 6 associate or affiliate member nations, decided through a regional and global qualifying system.
The Under-19 event in particular is regarded as a very important one, simply because very often we see someone from the Under-19 event moving straight into the national teams. So we try and make sure that that particular event is very well run, it's up to the world-class standards that we want it to be, simply because those players are the next generation of international players.
Women's cricket continues to gain popularity as well. In regions like South America, the girls are getting to the front of the queue.
The most popular games here are field hockey for girls, rugby for boys, and football, it's national sport. But now it's turning to be more and more popular because, I'm a national development, not women's development officer, and with the national development we're trying to keep all the field hockey girls to play cricket. So we're making a program where all the field hockey girls got to know cricket and start playing it.
This year saw only the second meeting of two traditional rivals, Brazil and Argentina. Newcomers may be, but both with ambition.
Now with the new program from ICC Americas, we've been given the chance to compete. We have the America's Cup every 2 years, and then we organize tours. Like we had Trinidad and Tobago under-17s coming last March. So the girls are very, very enthusiastic, and we have a nice group of girls. They're very keen, and I think standards. It's not that far away. We played Canada and we played Bermuda, which of course we lost because they've been practicing, playing more throughout the years. But we weren't embarrassed, and we competed well.
And she's decided to finish it with one good hit.
The profile of the women's game was also given a huge boost during the ICC World 2020, when the men and women's events took place simultaneously in front of sellout crowds. And with vast numbers taking up the game, the future looks promising.
When the ICC merged with the International Women's Cricket Council in mid-2005, there were only 15 members of the IWCC, and we now know that over 60 of our 104 members have formalised women's cricket league structures, and most of them involve both males and females and boys and girls when it comes to their junior involvement programs. And I think there's huge potential there, and especially for the developing countries to break through fairly quickly and start showing that they can challenge the big boys in terms of women's cricket on the field.
The success of the recent Women's World Cup underlining that point perfectly. So how to equate success? How about starting with the top associate nations?
Over the last I've seen it myself, the last 6 or 7 years, Holland, Ireland, Scotland, Canada have all benefited from funding and support from the ICC.
But the ICC want as many nations as possible to enjoy the game and to have the chance of competing at the highest level. The work of the development team stretches far and wide, offering hope to every country.
I think maybe the smallest of the nations, like UAE now, and even Afghanistan, are sort of coming from nowhere. Then it does give hope to other sides.
Afghanistan dared to dream and took the world of cricket by storm. Every team now has that chance, no matter how big or small.
There's been a startling amount of interest in the game. The growth has been tremendous over the past 10 years, which is about as long as the development program has now been in place. So I think we can look back with some amount of satisfaction at the growth in the game.
The women's game is moving forward apace and underlines the determination of the ICC to spread the game to every corner of the globe. The key word, growth. The results have surprised everyone.
I do believe that that there's countries that have made fantastic ground, and when you look at Ireland's results in the 2007 World Cup, for example, in defeating Pakistan, tying with Zimbabwe, making it through to the Super 8s and defeating Bangladesh, they really are amazing achievements that go to show that this great sport can be even greater as it's spread throughout the globe.
Outside the test-playing nations, the game is alive and well. The passion for cricket across the world at all levels is greater than ever. The opportunities to play the game better now than at any time. And the chance to compete at the top level, the inspiration for all.